Hey, Box here. So what if I told you there were 10 things you didn't know about Madden 23? What would you do? Would you fall out your chair? Would you punch a kangaroo? Maybe find inner peace? I don't know, but today I'm going to go through those 10 things that you might not know. Depends if you are in Australia, maybe you have a little bit less of an idea about these things than maybe pure-blooded Americans that only stay inside and look at NFL news all summer like myself. So, number one was something that we saw today get released by Mutt Leaks. QB releases. I don't know how he does these things. He finds out, digs through their data. And the other Mutt Leak account, it was so funny how many people believed him because this Mutt Leak account is right. But somebody just got a whole bunch of clout off just faking it all summer. So I think they sold their account too. So it's kind of funny, but you know what? The grind is real. So these Madden 22 index, right? Okay, so basically, I don't know how many of you guys know about like Slinger 1 being like super quick in the pocket. There's like what, 12 different types of throws last year. Well, in Madden 23, there looks to be 18, right? As of now, we're seeing 18. So like old Slinger 1, which was the best release in the game in the pocket, like the Aaron Rodgers release, quote unquote. The people that we see it with 8 this year is Aaron Rodgers and Jordan Love. So you can go through, go ahead, go to this link, or just pause the video right now. Just pause. Just chill. Just pause. Find your quarterback that you want to see. Russell Wilson is 2, which is generic. Sorry. 2 is generic 3. So quite a few 2s still on the list. Gen 3 looks to be pretty all-encompassing now. It's like the generic release, I guess. Because Gen 1 only's got like, 3 guys at the bottom. Gen 1 will probably be the longest release in the game. But anyways, QB releases is something that's very important and kind of like underlooked because of the frame differences and how quick the ball gets out. But this one, light boxes and nano detection are gone, okay? So light boxes, for those that don't know, if you ever came out into like a dollar set, like a light box, right? Like a lot of safeties and corners on the field, not a lot of D linemen, linebackers, that kind of thing. The lineman would end up running your guys over. Now, it's unrealistic, but it was their way of balancing the game that you can't just come out. Like, because last time we had no light box, I believe it was Madden 17, like the best run defense was dollar. I guess nickel blitz was really good in 17 too. It was an unblockable blitz off the edge. But like you could just like shoot runs on dollar. Was that 19? I don't remember. Or one of those years that dollar was like the best defense in the entire world against the run. And so they put this mechanic into the game to not allow that to be true. Like you'd have to match personnels a little bit, or you had to go at least to nickel formation and not get light boxed. So that looks to be gone this year, as maybe they're relying more on I don't know, better offensive line AI, but we'll get to that in a second. Nano detection's also gone. Something I want to go through, and this is from D Money, who leaked all these Madden 23 screenshots and footage, so shout out to him for that. But like basically, this guy used to just stop, right? Like nano detection, this guy would just stop on the field. But in Madden 23, they don't stop. Like, so if you've ever seen a guy get through an A gap and just stop on the way to the quarterback, like, what's going on? Like, they used to have something in there, like, they thought, like, if they didn't get blocked, there was, like, a screen going on, like Lyman Wood IRL. But, like, this, they no longer have it in this. So, this is kind of lead into my next point, which is Madden 23 is going to be a defensive game. Pass rush zones, man press. I think like it's going to be a heavy pressure year if A gaps are back, if they don't have nano detection, because their offensive line blocking hasn't improved. Again, we'll get to that in a second. But it is going to be a defensive game, right? They've improved pass rush, they've improved zone. Man press in the beta was actually insane. Guys would press dudes for like 15 yards on the field, like they'd still be in the press animation by the time you were getting sacked on a 4-man rush. That's how crazy man press was. So being able to use that, those numbers, obviously you can like motion slant and do stuff against man, but it is very hard when the user can cover so much of the middle of the field. I do think, and it is going to be, unless they tragically touch the game up a little bit, because everybody's kind of sick of maybe the offensive explosion that was 22. They got a little bit better near the end, to be fair. But early on in the game cycle, we'll see how it is. But based off the beta, it is going to be a heavy defensive game just because like almost everything they've improved upon was on the defensive side of the ball, okay? They've also, moving on to point 4, the abilities have been changed up, the different buckets. Now, this is a little bit like franchise had, like, there was some crossover there, but tier 1, all those abilities are going to be free, basically. Or they're all going to be free except for maybe some offensive line abilities, according to RG. But tier 1, tier 2, and tier 3 will all have separate abilities. So you'll be able to put different things in those different pockets, we'll call them. And you know, it's a change from 22. And I don't know. I'm going to see how it plays out. I don't have a feeling either way out of it's going to be better. It may be easier to balance the game out for like popular and powerful ability combinations that maybe, you know, they don't want us having going forward. But again, by the end of the year, it all kind of gets thrown out the window and we'll see what like golden tickets are. So like right now, it's hard to judge. But like at the beginning of the year, we'll see how that ends up working out. Number 5. Now, I don't want to talk about like the things that everybody knows about, like, you know, player traits in franchise, tackle battles, you know, back of the box features. But this is one of the back of the box features. But like it's something that like is delved into it. I think precision passing. Now there are some, you know, downsides to it, which we'll get to in a little bit. But precision passing, like you ever make a bad read and you instantly know it's a bad read? Precision passing's good because it gives you like a little like extra like, you know, quarter second to kind of precision pass it way away. Okay, so you press the button, you're like, oh my god, no, and then you precision pass it like out of bounds. So that's one of the best benefits to precision passing that maybe people aren't talking about, right? And so like not only can you put the ball where you want on the field, you know, precision passing, but you can also kind of like see a mistake and then immediately get rid of it. Now if it's a mistake and you don't recognize it until too long, it's not going to help you at all. But precision passing, it's good to make those late decisions on. Number 6, maybe you guys don't know this, but I can tell the future. I know this. Face of the franchise is still going to be trash. It's the biggest waste of resources EA has ever put into their game, and they keep they're changing it this year. You won't be going through high school or college. You'll be like, you know, trying for your second contract, that kind of thing. So they're trying to change it up, but they should just get rid of it. It's trash. These single player storylines in sports games, NBA's done some good ones. They fell off. They quit it, right? I think they just straight up stopped doing it. Madden still hasn't got that memo. So please, face of the franchise, utilize those players, those developers into actual franchise, into gameplay, into mod. Please reimagine your product without that, because face of the franchise is truly trash. Your yard, and unless your yard is fully renovated and changed over, more RPG elements, you know, animations that you can stock in your players like 2K, fewer bots on the field. That just ruins the mode. So I'm not a huge fan of face of the franchise. Wish all that would just go into the next one, and it's been trash ever since the original long shot. All right, number 7. Now, this one, you know how I said almost everything or everything's gone to the defense? This is the one thing that I will say on offensive side of the ball has gotten buffed from Madden 22. So Madden 23, the high point pass is going to be something that people are going to rely on. I do expect them to nerf this. It's something after Madden 19 that they had to nerf going forward, because you can just spam it. Like tall tight ends, and then like the linebackers we know don't jump, they don't animate, especially against tall tight ends. You might be able to animate to like a knockout if you got like a mid zone and stuff, but high point passes, because they're back to being super accurate, are going to be back to being into the meta in 23. And it's going to be one of the few ways that I see people reliably, you know, driving the field on others, just being able to take advantage of maybe a user that's sucked down a little bit too much on a short route and you just pop it over the head, which, you know, it is football, it makes sense, but it just became so dominant in the end zone specifically that they had to nerf it last time that it was taking over the meta, and you know, a lot of passes ended up being made like that. So number 7, you might not know about high passes right now. Number 8, revamp the sets menu in MUT. So again, back to D-Money's leaks / reveals of the Madden screens that we all saw during the beta. This seemed like a big waste of time to me. Like their auction house needed to be renovated. It needed to be more like MLB The Show than Madden. Madden's auction house is terrible, okay? And what they ended up doing is spending time just like rearranging the deck chairs on the Titanic. I think this was an awful waste of time by EA. There was nothing wrong, like hitting RB, going from my items to set the auction house. It's cool, but there are so many more things that we've been asking about that they just plug their ears and they don't even hear, that it's so frustrating from a player standpoint. Like, no, give us, you know, formation subs like we have in franchise and MUT. Give us custom audible saving game to game. Allow like some universal thing for every game mode. Instead, they're just like, hey, here's something that you didn't really ask for. Just to prove our worth to our bosses for the year, we're going to rearrange some menus. It's like, okay, cool, but like, is this going to be the main feature of MUT? Like, you reveal some cards, give us some more meat on the bones than some item manager. I know they got a battle pass coming, but truly, This is disappointing versus all the other things they could have done for us players that we've been asking for years. MUT practice mode, MUT practice mode, MUT practice mode. Like, it's so crazy that this is what they did. So, yeah, more of it. You just tab over to the sets. You got sets you can do with the headliners, hero. I don't know if these things are finalized or not, but that was in the beta. So, that is that. Number 9 on the list is probably going to be the biggest issue of 23 in my projection right now is playbooks. They're stale. You know, some of the major feedback we gave them during the beta, playbooks have basically been the same thing for years, right? I think, like, what is it? Washington Bunch will probably be meta on launch unless they do something drastic to it and drastic to playbooks in general. I put out the solution of just making like alternate playbooks, like MUT playbooks, instead of like, you know, they got one dumbass playbook guy that's like, oh, the teams run this all the time. This is like team specific. Guy's the laziest piece of shit I've seen in my life. I would love a job where I don't have to do anything for 5 years and like just like, you know, oh, the assistant got the new job in San Francisco, so they're gonna have the same playbook as that team this year, or the new I don't know. I'm just thinking about the old Shanahan thing, but like there's been plenty of other things. It's just such a lazy cop out. And like you could go to any game, any NFL game, there's tons of plays the teams run that aren't in the playbook. So it's like not even a great excuse, right? Give us custom play designer, right? Make your game good and give us custom play designer like we used to have in the old Maddens. That would truly probably break the game, but that would be fun to actually have and use and utilize. So, O-line, going back to like the A-gap stuff that we talked about right here, this is one of the issues. Blitzes around the edge, like this guy forgets that he's a tackle, and like Trent Williams can't, for some reason in the game, get to an edge, like a cornerback off the edge, right? If cornerbacks blitzing in the NFL were like a quarter as effective as they are in this game, that would be literally every single play being run. So expect edge blitzes from wide players unless they completely change and overhaul their AI and their tackle AI to be pretty big on the meta going into the game. So dollar, because there's no light box, you're going to see a bunch of that. And I could foresee pain unless they've changed things based off our feedback, which hopefully they have. All right, and then number 10, low point passes, okay? These are either gone, they're straight up not in precision passing. You can't low point. The modifier left trigger is now the precision pass, or they've been nerfed. If you're in a classic passing, which I know a lot of people are going to because low point passes are so important for like middle of the field type of things to keep them away from the defender, they got nerfed. So you can't really throw it with like a pass lead or else it'll be inaccurate, which I think is a fine change. Personally, low point passes took over too much of 22. It was a really bad time to play Madden when everybody discovered you just low point passes all over the field and like defenders refused to react unless you paid Acrobat for them. Even with Acrobat, they sometimes just like waved at them standing up with like alligator arms. They wouldn't even dive and intercept it like they should. So you have to pay for Acrobat and you still wouldn't make the play a lot of times, and it's very frustrating and very unbalanced for the offense just to be able to spam something even though it's well coverage, man coverage, zone coverage, whatever it is. So low point passes, number 10, they might be gone or nerfed, and hopefully, you know, that'll be a good thing for 23 in my opinion. So that I do foresee people, like I said, talking more and going more into classic because precision passing doesn't have low points. So that's the big downside of precision passing is the low point modifier got taken over and eliminated. But that's it for the video. Hope you guys liked it. Hope you guys learned something. If not, downvote. It doesn't matter because guess what? Nobody sees that anyways because YouTube is trash and they got rid of the downvote feature on this platform. Otherwise, if you did, please upvote. Please subscribe. Really helps with the channel. Thanks for watching Call to Action. See you tomorrow.